What's going on, everybody? All right, tried to make this video outside. I don't know what's wrong with my microphones. They're popping. I don't know, but so I had to come back inside. So sorry about the lighting. It was better outside, but I don't want to cause wide range panic. But there may be an issue with the 2022 Tundra already. Now, I told you all before that I didn't like this truck, and I also said I didn't really trust turbo engine in a truck. And turbo, the wastegate on a turbo apparently is, or the wastegate actuator, let me get it right, apparently is having some issues. I'm going to get into this. I actually screenshotted several things I've seen on forums and stuff like that. And I want to thank one of my subscribers for sending me this. I don't ever just shout out people unless they ask me to or want me to. So I do want to, give thanks for them bringing this to my attention, but I'm not going to shout them out unless they want to, and I'll do that in the next video. But, so what this is it's the 2022 Tundra wastegate actuator. And from what he sent, it says, from what I'm hearing, Toyota is trying to keep this hush-hush. Now, I don't know about that. I've not talked to Toyota. I haven't seen anything much on this from them, but that's what he said. But it's fast becoming a point to where they'll be forced to issue a recall, as from the pictures I've seen, it immediately sends the truck into limp mode, and that is a huge safety risk, especially on the interstate. Now, I do want to say, I kind of believe what he's saying here, because not saying that just, for legal reasons, I don't want to call Toyota out and say, hey, they're just trying to keep this hush-hush. But in my personal opinion, I agree with him. It does kind of seem this, because you've not seen anything on the news, you've not really heard anything about this. I will put up some pictures here in a minute that will just freak you out. Well, I'll go ahead and put it up right now. So when they're fixing this, they take the frame, or the body, off of the frame. Now, I'll read you why somebody thinks this is the case here in a minute, because I did get some other, stuff from other forums, posts from other forums to read on why they think this might be the case. God, I see the light off the iPad now, and it's really making the light look weird. But I got some posts off some of the forums of people's ideas and stuff like that, so I'll read them to you here in just a minute, what these people are thinking. But the truck, the picture that you see, the body off the frame, it has like 327 miles on it. I'll post a picture of that when I get to that here in a minute, because it does have something that pops up on the dash. But if I walked in and I'd bought a brand new 2022 truck and I'd paid $55,000, $65,000 or whatever you paid for it, and I walked in with 327 miles on the truck and my body is off the frame, lifted like that, I would be a little bit freaked out and a little bit ill. I ain't gonna lie, because I know that technician has probably never done that before on one of these trucks, because it's probably the first time they've ever had to work on these, because they're brand new. So they've already took my body off the frame. But secondly, when Toyota builds these trucks, they're probably not taking this whole body and sitting down this frame and tightening everything down. They're probably putting these on one piece at a time. So if you take this off and this thing is flexing up here in the air and stuff like this, and you drop it back down, bolt it all back, is my brand new truck now going to have some squeaks in it? That would suck. My 2016 doesn't have any squeaks in it. So if I bought a brand new truck and it didn't have squeaks for the first 327 miles, but the next, 327,000 it had squeaks, I would be a little ill about that. That truck would be back until they figured out what every one of them squeaks were and got it fixed. That's just me, because that's a little bit freaky. But let me read you some of the things that I found on some of the forums, and I'll give you my opinion on this. Let me turn down the lighting a little bit. Maybe that'll help drown some of this out where it's not just illuminating my face. It says, and now take the internet news as you will. And there again, these are on a forum, so everybody has their opinion. These are just people's opinions. Toyota did not weigh in on this. But apparently from the photos and some of the people talking on here, this is an issue. Don't know how many trucks it is, but there are some that's had this issue. Now take this internet news as you will, but allegedly the turbo, wastegate, and manifold are being replaced as an assembly for those that have the issue. This could explain the body off of the frame in the repair picture. And that could be it. If they're replacing it all in one lump sum, maybe it's just easier to get to that. I've heard reports on here when I was reading on these that the back of the engine is very hard to get to in these trucks, and maybe it's just easier to take the body off the frame. Maybe Toyota designed it that way, and there won't be any squeaks. I don't know, but that would be my fear, is the squeaking going on when they put all this back together. But maybe that's the way they designed it, because it is so hard to get back there. One person even said, how hard is it going to be to change the spark plugs in this truck? There again, if it's hard to get to the back of the engine, if there's plugs back there, it could highly suck. All right, this guy right here says my SR5 was effectively a DOA due to that. Dead on arrival. Brand new truck, dead on arrival. Very long saga follows. Toyota is playing hardball, and dealership is playing the hero. The wastegate issue isn't isolated. That's what this guy said. And he had the problem, and there was 3 or 4 other trucks that people had read about on here that had the problem. So maybe it's becoming a bigger issue. Maybe as these trucks get more miles on them. Now, someone on here did say that Toyota had, they had heard that Toyota had got a bad batch of parts in. If that was the case, they can probably narrow this down to certain VIN numbers, because I am assuming that Toyota keeps track of these things and scans parts in and stuff like that, and links them to the VIN numbers. So if they got this batch in, they can probably tell, hey, this group of trucks right here was from this batch. We need to get them back in and check them out and recall them. Not saying Toyota's going to do that, don't know, but they should be able to do that if it was a batch. Now, how many's in a batch? I don't know. Was it 50? Was it 250? Was it 5,000? I don't know how many's in a batch before they caught it, if that was the instance. Knowing a little bit about manufacturing, you never know. Certain parts come in different size batches. So depending on what kind of size of batch this is will depend on how many trucks are affected, if that was the case. This person said, that is in line with my saga. Toyota and their financial services division, I leased it, have both refused to assist in any reasonable resolution. The dealership stepped up in ways that are pretty much unheard of in this day and age. Now, I do want to say, I feel like Toyota was a better company in that. I did have a little issue getting my lights fixed, but they did fix it. Ford pretty much did the same thing that this guy is saying Toyota did to him. Hopefully, Toyota isn't going the way that Ford did that caused me to buy a Toyota. But from the sound of this, it doesn't sound good. When my intercooler issue happened on my Ford and it went into limp mode, they did their fix. It didn't fix it, and Ford was like, that's pretty much all we got. It's yours, deal with it. That's almost what they told me word for word. It was crazy. And that caused me to go get a Tundra. I've never looked back since. Love the 5.7. Told you guys I love this truck. It isn't going anywhere, and I wasn't going to buy one of these, and now some of the issues are starting to rear their ugly heads. Now, before I get on with some more of this stuff, some of you guys and gals out there are going to say, hey, this is just some issues you got to deal with. It is a new truck. You may have problems like that. They're trying to work out the bugs. I get it. But there again, that's why I said you shouldn't buy the new truck, because there are bugs to be worked out. You know, let them get the bugs worked out, and this could just be a bug or a bad batch or whatever it may be, but I did want to make y'all aware of this. This person said it's definitely an issue, but scope and scale seem to be a bit undetermined. I've read one report of it on here, and that's what I've seen, one report, but there was other people said they'd heard of 3 or 4 so far. Caveat and all, but I'm not letting it stand in my way of picking mine up. So he's heard of one report, but there again, if you bought the truck, go pick it up. You may not have the issue. Maybe they, you know, if they know about it, they probably got it fixed by now. The wait times would be something I would be worried about if this does happen to my truck, because how available are parts? We all know the supply chain right now is crap. So how long will it take them to actually get the parts in to actually fix this truck if you do have that problem? That's my only issue. I'm going to throw up a picture here of what this looks like when it happens to this person anyway. As you can see from the photo, it says reduced engine power, visit your dealer. So, and you can see it has 327 miles. So if this pops up, you know you're fixing to be in some trouble. Find some way to get off the road, because you don't want your truck going in limp mode. And when this pops up, it may be too late. It may already be in limp mode. That's what I figured when it popped up on my Ford. I was already in limp mode. So be careful. Just be careful. There again, the body off the frame would just freak me out on a brand new truck. But like I said, maybe they designed it that way. Again, I just wanted to let you all know about this from someone that has experienced limp mode on an interstate in one of my F-150s. It can be very dangerous. I almost got killed. Tractor trailer almost jackknifed. When you go into limp mode, your brake lights do not come on to warn the person behind you that I'm losing power and I'm dropping speed very quickly. So be careful out there. If you see this, make sure you get it to the dealership, get it checked out. Hopefully Toyota does the right thing. If this is a bad batch and people's having issues, then they fix it. I hope that, you know, it's an isolated incident where they had to argue with a person, but I'm hoping they do the right thing. Everybody's in it to make money, but when you have an issue like this and safety's at hand, do the right thing if this is an actual issue and you do have a batch of bad parts. Make sure you let people know and recall those trucks. I plead with you because I've had that issue and it's a very bad feeling to feel like you paid this much money for a vehicle and now you're just left out on the street, literally. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.